to the cold time when the ice and the snow and the mud and the bird beaks are mute, for not one inclines to sing, and the hedge branches are dry, no leaf nor bud sprouts up, nor cries the nightingale, whose song awakens me in May, and the hedge branches are dry, no leaf nor bud sprouts up, nor cries the nightingale, whose song awakens me in May. Disordered that I'm rude to everyone. I know it's easier to lose than gain. Still, though I be blamed, I'll tell the truth. My pain comes from orange. That's why I stand gaping, for I've lost the joy of sadness. My pain comes from orange. That's why I stand gaping, for I've lost the joy of of sadness.
Okay, welcome to Lisa Hadley, our fabulous alto,
Thank you.
who sang the solo in the jazz piece. She is a poised and charismatic performer who quickly masters new repertoire, that's really true, in a broad range of musical styles. Lisa's mezzo voice has recently been heard throughout New England as a soloist with several Boston-based vocal ensembles, and in her vocal piano duo, co-founded with her sister, the fabulous composer Suzanne Shepherd. Lisa also sings with Labyrinth Choir, which was on GBH's Sing That Thing, went on a tour in Venice, Vienna, and Prague, and she recorded their second CD, Celestial Whispers. With Cappella Clausura, she has been our alto soloist in the U.S. premiere of Fanny Mendelssohn's Three Cantatas, a fabulous, fabulous piece of music. Three pieces of music.
I was just singing some of it this morning, actually.
Really?
I came across it with my four score, like, oh, well, let me see this again.
So
I
beautiful.
keep singing it.
So beautiful. Yeah. She sang the world premiere of her sister Suzanne Shepherd's Twilight Turns with us, and recorded a CD of the music of Libby Meyer, yet to come out.
Oh.
In 2017, Lisa sang the role of the teacher in the world premiere recording of the Elena Rohr opera Crafting the Bonds, performed at MIT with Cappella Clausura and some guest musicians. She also sings with the Church on the Hill Choir in Boston and was the alto soloist for the photo play of La Mort de Jeanne d'Arc, presented at Harvard Musical Association, a fabulous 1921 movie with a score that was just recently uncovered for piano and singers, and we did this at Harvard Musical Association. It was really fun.
That was great. Yeah.
And saw the whole movie, too. Lisa has been soloist with Cape Cod Chorale, Hancock Church, Lexington, Cranberry Coast Concerts, and more. And as I mentioned, with her sister Suzanne Shepherd, she co-founded the duo The Shepherd Sisters. So please welcome
Thank
Lisa
you.
Hadley.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's great to
nice
have you here.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
So tell me, our alto soloist with the jazz program, the first thing I have to ask you, a little off topic, how was it to sing jazz?
I love it. It's kind of my secret wish one day is just to be a jazz singer. But because I've always loved jazz. Actually, my father was a jazz clarinetist.
Oh, okay.
Growing up, never professionally, but very good amateur. He played with several just local community groups, and his idol actually was Benny Goodman. And so I heard a lot of jazz growing up. Yeah. So it went in my ears, in my head, and I always loved it. It's fortunate but unfortunate when you train to a certain level. It's hard to be a really successful crossover. It's difficult. So sometimes
technique altogether.
Technique, right? So sometimes I feel like there's certain things I can sing, certain things I cannot sing. Yeah. But this piece, obviously, I loved it, and I felt like I really could sing this piece.
It was totally your voice.
Yeah, I loved it.
When Tal gave it to me, I thought, I know who's going to sing this.
I loved it. So no, and I there's a lot of that I can do. The more contemporary the jazz, I feel like the less successful I am. Some of the older things are great.
Yeah. Well, you did a fabulous job, really. And as our harpist mentioned, you really inspired the rest of us to play in a way that we might not have, because you took that music and you so owned it, and each verse had a different feeling to it because you put that feeling in there.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, I loved the poetry. The poetry was gorgeous, right? And I actually was reading that it was something like 52 verses or something. There's a ton of verses anyway. So I was reading somewhere along the way, and this was just a little tiny piece of how many strophes or verses or the.
Yeah, here she is. Here she is. Hold on, let's see.
It was very.
It's a long piece.
Yeah, very long. Yeah. But I loved what Tal did with it, the piece. Yeah.
And she only took a tiny bit of it.
Right.
Here she is. Here she is. 7 verses with what's called an envoi at the end, which is a goodbye verse. It's shorter than all the rest. Okay. So she goes on at length. But we remember that these were like television in their day.
Right.
What else were you going to do at night except listen to a very long story? Here you go.
There you go.
I'm going to sing it to you. So that's what those were.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. I love to think about how these things happened in real time.
I know.
How were they sung?
Right.
Who sang them? And what were the other people doing? Were they eating dinner? Was this like background music? Was it, or did they sit and listen like we were watching TV?
Right. Yeah.
I love to think about that.
Yeah. And also how it's never really what she said really never is not appropriate for today. Like it.
Right. Nothing's changed.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Human beings are still doing what they're doing. So what were one or two things about the whole program that excites you or excited you?
I think what I was saying to you earlier when Nancy was standing here, one thing I really liked about this program that I felt like I could get myself wrapped around the program, in the fact that the whole program was an overlapping of 12th, 13th century successful women writing poetry to 20th, 21st century women writing music, and it was all so fabulous. It was all just, I don't know the word for it, but it was just really amazing to be able to sing music like that covers such a large span. And I felt like I could relate to it. On some level, I could relate to it.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, so that's what I really liked about it. It wasn't like, oh, here's another early music piece. You know what I mean.
Right.
No, it was really great. I really loved that. The poetry really made it come alive for me. I feel like poetry.
Did it feel different for you singing in English as opposed to the the native language, the Occitan?
I really liked it, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if different. I mean, yeah, it's different to sing in English, but
But I mean, do you feel like, did you sense the poetry in a different way because your piece that you soloed in was in English, the rest of the poetry was in Occitan? Did you feel it differently?
I definitely felt it like more contemporary feel to it. Yeah, I mean, only probably because I speak English, fluently.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I felt a little bit, maybe I was more comfortable with it, like underneath. Inside, maybe I was really more.
Yeah, you felt like you could get into the meaning of it more.
I think I could. Yeah.
Yeah, you totally bought that meaning.
Oh, good.
you got it. Yeah. So was there any unique historical or musical aspect to any of the music that changed you in any way, or impressed you, or
just how
you became aware of?
Well, I think just learning, as I always thought, women a long time ago, they didn't have really any place in society. But just reading how successful these women, these troubadours, right? Troubadours, is that the word?
Yeah.
Troubadours were...
Troubadours.
Yeah.
Troubadours.
Female troubadours.
Yeah, female troubadours.
Were how successful these women were. I mean, I was reading they were landowners and well-respected women of their...
They were the ladies of the house.
Right.
And they worked with the troubadours, the male troubadours too. They were very often working together.
Right.
So they were all. Yeah.
And they said, I was reading that these women all knew how to play an instrument. They all sang. They all wrote poetry. I mean, they were very, very well-rounded women.
Yeah.
So sort of something that I aspire to.
Right. Don't we all wish?
Yeah.
I'd like to be the lady of the house, please.
No, I know, exactly. Well, I already am.
I know, right. So tell me, how did it feel to get together with the singers of Clausura again? Just all of us, to be together and sing live.
There really isn't a word. I mean, it's just so, if you sing or you make music on any level, it's totally different doing it with other people than doing, like I told you, doing it alone in my lower level of my house, not a basement, but I was down. It's a room on my lower level of my split level home. It's a room I have just for my music room. And sometimes I would just dread going down. Oh, here I go again. Why am I practicing? Why am I? Why, I mean, there are reasons, but it's not the inspiration that musicians, I think, feed off of, like we were saying. To be with each other, I mean, of course, missing the audience is difficult still, but we're getting there. And just to sing with other people is, inspiring, really. Inspiring. you know, to do it with other people. It's hard to explain it unless you really do it.
There's a magic to it, I feel. You know, just being next to somebody and not even hearing them breathe, not even feeling them breathe, just knowing they're breathing. There's something about it, and there's something about that you're sharing the harmony.
Right.
You know, that you're sharing these sounds.
Right, exactly.
And if you're not next to anybody, you're not sharing anything.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, you were just talking about Fanny Mendelssohn, and I started watching. Shannon sent me a while back. I was just going through some files, and she sent me a while back when I was looking at my 4 score at the Fanny Mendelssohn. I told you I was just looking at some of it, and I started listening to the YouTube Im Wald.
Yeah.
And I had said those words to myself that you're saying, and it's not an egotistical thing, but I had said, this is so together. We are like breathing together. We are making this piece together. It was so together, Amy. It was and you don't realize it when you're doing it. It was just No, I mean, well, I'm not trying to say it was fabulous, but it was just so it was so good that we were just so synced, you know.
Yeah.
No, it was great.
That is the magic.
That's the magic. That's the
when it
magic.
happens, it's just like, oh, it just makes you feel like $1 million.
It really does.
Right.
It really does. Yeah.
Doing a recording is really wonderful, and you get all that magic, and you make all that music, you know, together with other musicians, and you feel all of that stuff. But there's no audience. So how did that feel?
A little depressing. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you know, on one level. On the other level, obviously great to be up there. I loved it. I loved making the record. Everything about it I loved. I just really was missing the audience. You feed off that. You know, sometimes it's funny because you can feel them almost breathe with you. They're just with you. They're lifting you up. They're supporting you. They're your foundation, really, I feel.
That's very true.
And I have a different energy, altogether different energy when I have people out there. You know.
Oh yeah. It's like rehearsal versus concert, right?
That's right.
And also there's that frisson of having, you know, the concert. Oh, it's the concert, and we're all like energized and feeling all that adrenaline, and it's all going to go into making this incredible thing, and then it happens, and you're like, wow.
I know, and there's no feeling like it. It's hard to explain that to somebody, but we love audiences. I love you people, you know. No, I mean, I like, but I love people to know that. Like, I like to feel comfortable right away with my audience, and no, I'm so thankful you're there because you're helping me do my job so much better.
Right.
You know.
That's true.
Sometimes I think people feel like audiences are, oh, there's the audience. I don't feel that way. About I'm more comfortable with the audience there. So
I think we all are.
Yeah.
And we miss that, and we want that back.
We do. We
want to get that back real soon. And
we
hope
will
to get that back real soon.
I was just talking to my daughter saying, we're getting there. We're almost there.
That's great. So, well, Lisa, thank you so much for coming out here and talking to us.
Thank you. My pleasure.
We're so looking forward to sharing this incredible program with everybody. And Lisa Hadley, fabulous alto soloist.
Thank you.
Thank you for singing with Cappella
Fabulous
Clausura.
Director, fabulous composer. Well, I can go on and on, but you know,
go ahead.
We only have so much time.
Thanks, Lisa.
No, great. It's great talking to you, Amy. Thank you.